So this video is an update from my last dry fast. I've just finished a 9-day dry fast. I've done 4 9-day dry fasts over the last year, one on the equinoxes and solstices. So every 3 months I've done a 9-day dry fast. Before that I did an 8.5-day dry fast, and I built up 1 day at a time over about 15 months. So I built up fairly slowly to 9-day dry fasts, and I wanted to do 9 or 10-day dry fasts because in the past I'd had Lyme disease and been very ill with it, and I think I'd cleared the Lyme disease. But the dry fasting has been really, really useful at clearing the damage from from Lyme disease and the spiritual energies of Lyme disease, or entities from Lyme disease. And it may have healed the Lyme disease, because there's no real good tests for Lyme disease that say, yeah, you've got it or you haven't got it. So I haven't even, gone back to be tested. I just know my health is a lot better. But there's many things I can bring to the table to help people with their dry fasting. There are many tips, and also holographic breathing, a breathing system I teach called holographic breathing, which has a gentle motion of the mouth with the breath, and this breathing motion travels through the whole body. And that is super helpful in dry fast, because one, it keeps the mouth moist. You've always got, or when I'm doing it, I'm doing holographic breathing, I'm continually got this flow of saliva or golden nectar, or whatever you want to call it, through my mouth. And so many people complain of getting a dry mouth. So holographic breathing is very useful for that. I will leave links in the description below, free links for learning holographic breathing, to YouTube videos so you can learn it. Also videos I've made about healing Lyme disease, making your own remedies for Lyme disease, because I know a lot of people who come to dry fasting are doing it to try and clear Lyme disease. So I will put those in the description, and to free webinars, you can come to those as well. So one way to not get a dry mouth, to do holographic breathing. It automatically pulls saliva into the mouth and circulates it through the body. There's a whole video and tutorial on that in the description below. I'm not going to go into it in detail. It just does that. The other way to stop getting a dry mouth, every night put a bit of tape, surgical tape, it's just soft gauze tape across here, so your lips are closed. Just keep your lips closed all of the time. The reason people are often getting dry is because they're breathing through their mouths, and it dries out. But you keep your mouth closed at night, and not just abstain from water and food, abstain from talking. Talking, you will waste so much energy and you will dry out your mouth. So if you want to do a dry fast, I don't know, longer than 9 days, because I haven't done longer than 9 days, and I don't know that I will. It seems a bit like my limit, but my mouth just fully moist, doesn't get dry in any way whatsoever. I don't talk, I put a thing over my lips at night, make sure my lips are, and I do holographic breathing. So that is one thing. I'm going to talk a lot in this about the healing. A lot of people give different angles. I'm going to talk about healing the organs and energetic healing and spiritual healing that I experience in the dry fast. The second tip that is really useful is once you start dry fasting, then you don't go to the loo anymore. You know that everything you've eaten, it kind of just stays there when you're normally doing dry fast. And people will fast before their fast, or they will do a salt wash while they're fasting to try and get rid of this stuff, or just before their fasting. If you do holographic breathing, and you do the movement also of the hands and feet that I describe in the videos, there will be a free webinar. You can come to the free webinars and learn it if you want to do it in person with me, free of charge. It massages the organs, massages the digestive tract, and I always completely clear out my intestines, completely. Normally, it's obviously slower because you're not taking down more food. Normally, the fourth day is the last one. And because it's taken a while to get there, because there's nothing pushing it through, it all ends up there and it just clears out. Normally I go twice, maybe on the first day, and maybe the second one on the third day, or you know where, but normally it's all gone by the fourth day. And that's because of the holographic breathing. It keeps the digestion working so you can clear that out, and that makes the dry fast so much easier. So there are 2 points that can make your dry fast so much more incredibly easy. You don't want a dry mouth. It's bad enough as it is. It's not, you know, it's hard work. Dry fasting, let's face it, it's not easy. You have to win your stripes to do dry fasting. It's not like, oh, let's do something fluffy. No, it's, you win your stripes doing a dry fast. So it's hard enough as it is, but if you can just clear all that waste, it just is so much more comfortable. You don't detox, you don't retoxify yourself by having all of this feces in your body the whole time, and then terrible constipation at the end. You can just clear all of that. Very simple, easy, and spiritually enlightening breath work for free. What's not to like? All you have to do is press the button, listen to the video and do it. What's not to like? But if you don't want to do that, fine. But that 2 of the major things, it will help with you. Now, I first went for 9 days because it was make sure that I've cleared the Lyme disease, and I thought, well, I better go for 10 days because I thought they say 9 days will get rid of it. If you do an extra day, then it kind of making certain, but come the end of 9 days each time, no way I'm going any longer, I'm going to drink, that is it. So I didn't get to 10 days, but I seem to have a different experience to other people. Other people generally are talking about detoxifying the body and the whatever it's called, where your body is eating itself. I've forgotten the word, I'm dyslexic, whatever that is. It'll come to me probably in 5 minutes time. And these different things, but I have healing experiences on dry fasts of, first of all, it clears out any diseases. you know, colds and flus. One of the things Lyme disease did, it destroyed my immune system. And so I was always colds, flus, bronchitis, pneumonia. And as I cleared the Lyme disease with holographic breathing and my own remedies, then that wasn't so bad. But it stayed with me. I've got this thing that's gone now. But I got a weak immune system from it, so I've always got a cold, always got flu, and it always goes on longer than other people. In the first 4 or 5 days, gets rid of that. And then after that, it starts clearing my early childhood diseases. I had pneumonia when I was 4, and bronchitis as a child, and asthma and all of that. And on the first 9-day one I did, it was, you get to day 5 and suddenly I've got this chest infection. I thought, oh, I haven't got rid of those diseases, it's just got worse. But I realised the chest infection wasn't from the illnesses I had at the time. It was that illness from when I was a child and that ongoing effect. And it took 5th and 6th day clears whatever it is in my chest each time. And the first time I really felt the pneumonia, and each time that's got less and less. And now when I get ill, before I get ill, I'd automatically get a chest infection. But now, as it clears those earlier illnesses, then I don't get chest infection. I haven't had a proper chest infection since really a year and a half, since that first 8.5-day dry fast. And now each time that experience gets less and less. So that goes. I had a hiatus hernia. I had something happened to my digestive that I just don't know what it is. The pancreas, the liver, the stomach, something went on, and it really, really gets into that. And that was very strong for a couple of days when I first did. And again, less and less, it's clearing these fundamental illnesses out of my body, and you can feel it on specific days. It's working through, and then suddenly it's gone. So this is one, and I think there's disease entities, you know, spiritual entities that come with these diseases, and it clears those. And that definitely happened with the Lyme disease, even though I think the Lyme disease was gone. On the second 9-day dry fast, on the 4th or 5th day, I just felt this big tick, this kind of, you know, ticks a little and they get you and you get Lyme disease. But it was a big energy tick, one of those. And it was a spiritual energy behind Lyme disease. Maybe the physical had gone, but on an energetic level and a spiritual level, it was still there. And something about the dry fast, it enables you to clear it is, for me, a spiritual endeavor as well as a health endeavor. And that lifted out of me and went. And I think I may have several times stopped on the 7th day, because a lot of people say, oh, 7 days is enough and 9 days is dangerous. But what's going on for me on the 7th day is it's working through my guts. And I've got a lot to do with your immune system. And it all came at one time when I was about 21. I gave up drugs. I got a hiatus hernia, I think. I got some terrible infection. And from having a strong constitution, could eat anything, suddenly I had a very, everything upset my stomach. And on the 7th day, it's clearing that. And it's not gone by the end of the 7th day. So it's not like, well, I'm going to stop now, halfway through this. So I always go on past the 7 days, and I think, well, you've done 7 days. I mean, what the hell? Put another couple of days on and do a really deep fast. And I get people saying, oh, there's no difference, doesn't make any difference between 7 and 9, you only have to do 7. I've got to tell you, I think that's an absolute load of rubbish. After the 7th day, for me, it upticks the autophagy. I said it would come back in 5 minutes, and the autophagy and the heat really ramps up after the 7th day. The whole process gets much deeper, so you're clearing much deeper into the system, and it feels after the 7th day it's much more getting into the brain. I think the brain is protecting itself. It doesn't want to get dehydrated, so it may be one of the last bits to get properly dehydrated. And I think it works through the brain and the nervous system, so it clears that. And again, that I had neurological Lyme disease, so that it injures the myelinating glial cells, the myelin sheath, and gets into the cells and programs the cells, programs your cells so that you don't get a fever, so that you can't fight off the Lyme disease. So you might get rid of the Lyme disease, but you might still, and I think I had all of these programs in me from the Lyme disease. Sounds important to me. Felt like I had all of these programs from the Lyme disease, which was undermining my immune system, even though the Lyme disease had gone. And I think this deep autophagy into the cells of the brain gets rid of that programming, because it just destroys the organelles in the cells that aren't working properly, and it eats the cells that aren't working properly. So it kind of clears that. And that is one of the reasons, even though I think, well, it might be dangerous going longer than 7 days. But I always, keep an eye on my ketones, my blood pressure, the pulse, all of the different markers. I do those, and as long as they're all okay, and they always are, even though it hurts a lot more. Just first 3 days are the worst as far as I'm concerned. Then you pacing along, but from 7 till 9, I mean, for me that hurts. With the heat really intensifies, and you just can't, very hard to find a way of just being in your body in a relaxed way, because it's just so hard to be with. But it helps if you allow it to go, rather than it's going to go through the brain, to allow it to go through the brain and allow it to clear through the nerves. And that comes in strong for me, 7 to 9 days. It's really doing something at a deep level on those days. And I'm there, I think, well, I have to be careful. I mean, I'm 67, it's not like I'm 23 or something. I've had Lyme disease since 39. Had it for a long time, nearly died. And the the holographic breathing helped me get it better. And now the Lyme disease is just clearing out the remnants, which is brilliant. Another thing that really intrigued me on this 9-day dry fast was the relationships between the organs and muscles, because quite often I think they're kind of separate with I know they're connected, but I didn't know they were connected so strongly, because on the previous 3 webinars, I put my back out. Not webinars, fasts, I put my back out, and it was through the left hip into the sacrum, into the lower back each time. I thought, how did I do that? So this time I was thinking, you know, I'd either put it out just coming into it, or just as I came out of the fast, each time I'd laid up for a month after the fast, not because I'd done badly on the fast, because I put my back out. And I wasn't doing anything, but I could feel that hip going out. I could feel those muscles getting tighter. I think I've got to lose time. And I realized it's coming from the small intestines. It was the small intestines were clearing. And that was tightening this whole region that I've had my whole life, going through the left hip. And I thought it was from childhood injuries and being hit and things like that. But maybe it was, but it was affecting the small intestine. But it was so strong. And when I could really get into it, letting that autophagy, letting that karma clear out the small intestines and relaxing, it was really opening up through that injury in the leg. And instead of putting my back out, that was releasing. But it was so marked, the relationship between, in that case, the small intestines and the legs. And we're working with that in the next paid for webinar, where we're working with the fire energies, because that's part of the fire energy circuit. And also the same, I'd injured my shoulders from a weightlifting accident as a child. And that had also put my spine out and gone into my stomach. But it was working absolutely. Who knows whether it's the chicken or the egg, whether it got weakened by the stomach, and then and there was the shoulders went, and then there was the karma causing. Because as it was clearing through my stomach, it was automatically moving through the muscles, into the spine, and up into the shoulders, which I thought, well, that comes from weightlifting. But actually, it was working the other way. As the stomach was healing, it was working out, clearing through the muscles and clearing the shoulders. And also, on the refeed, even I'm very careful, I think food is alien to us. Do you know what I mean? It's in one form or another, it's toxic. Our bodies have to deal with it in different ways to stay alive, but in some ways it's foreign, because as soon as the food was going into the stomach, and I think I'm hypersensitive, just anything sets it off. The stomach will get set out, and instantly pain, tightness in my shoulders, round under the scapula there. That makes a big difference, this organ to body relationship. So I was noticing that really strongly. And also, again, through those last 2 days, one, I'd had all of this problem with my gut and the hiatus hernia. After the 7th day, suddenly I'm getting all this stuff in my heart, and I'm thinking, I've got to stop. This is because my blood's too thick, my heart can't take it, I'm going to have a heart attack, and I'm going to die. I mean, most people who do dry fasting probably sympathise with that feeling. Am I going to die here? But I hang in there because I can feel the heart is clearing. And what it is, because the heart is sitting on the diaphragm, and I think the stomach problems, the diaphragm, all of that had also, it's obviously affecting not just the movement of the heart, but the energy transfer. And I think it all heals through the fast. And then on the 8th and 9th day, that energy connection from the stomach, from the pancreas, through the diaphragm to the heart. And then it's like, oh, I'm going to die. And then suddenly it works, and it opens. And it's a whole chest opens side as the heart suddenly gives and relaxes. And also how much food was affecting my lungs, because I did have that pneumonia, and I did have a very upset childhood, and I did have the asthma. But also, it's quite amazing how as soon as I start eating food again, and you start getting a bit of irritation in the guts and stomach, my breathing gets hard. I think dry fasting is the only time in my life that my breath just feels so relaxed and easy. I think it doesn't mean I eat really good food. I'm organic, plant-based, only eat plant-based food, whole plant-based food, raw or cooked from the beginning, nothing processed, and really careful that I get all of the nutriments and everything. But as soon as I've got food going through my gut, it's not just my gut starts getting these subtle irritations and tightnesses through my breathing becomes harder. The lungs are suddenly not as free as they are on a dry fast. So for me, many people hate or think, how can you do dry fast? For me, it's quite nice just not to have food in me and not to have those allergies and whatever they are and everything, just breathe. So 7th, 8th, 9th day, the heart gives and opens, and whoa, and the lungs open and are free, and you get all this, and then it comes up to the thymus gland. Again, a lot to do with the immune system, starts working through there. And this time it was getting quite close to the end. So I brought in some help. I got a teacher. Well, there's the energies that heal through holographic breathing, the spiritual. I was asking those to come in and heal me, and also my old healing teacher who did something called Tibetan pulsing. And I said, look, Diraj, can you heal this bit rather than me just working for 2 days? He's gone. I mean, he left in 96, something like that, 1990, around that time, 97. He was a powerful healer. And they would work on me. So it's not just I do the fast, I also bring in the spiritual energies to help me be on the fast, to help me heal while I'm on the fast. So there's the holographic breathing that's breathing through all of the body, keeping the organ, when there's a tightness in the organs, you can breathe with them in holographic breathing and help clear them. But also I bring in the spiritual energies, and I think because I've got no food in me and I'm in this altered state, they can work more strongly. And with the Lyme disease, and a lot of people say this, real tightness and tiredness, and a lot of people get tiredness in the throat. I said, John, look, this tiredness, because the energy had risen from the stomach through the diaphragm, the heart open, the lungs were open, this was opening, and it was moving through the throat, which I'm never quite sure how to deal with. And again, we're working with that in the ladies' webinar series. There's 6 energies of holographic breathing of the throat and the face and the cranium. And I said, look, this is always tight and gets tired, and this is where it got me in Lyme disease, the tiredness. It felt like entities had grabbed me there. Anyway, just put it with Diraj, it starts slowly, it puts down, there's nothing, and then suddenly it's like, and it's just gone with him. It just goes. And it was like entities, like from the Lyme disease, entities have gone into that, and just oomph, 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 oomph. They're just over and over and just cleared, and then afterwards it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I don't think that would happen if I wasn't on the fast, because it'd be held in place by the food. But because you get to this rarefied state and the healing energies move, then help from the other side becomes much stronger. And he really cleared that, or seemed, maybe it's him, maybe it's not, maybe it's a spiritual person, but whoever it was, it really helped. And thank you. And then after that, then it's clearing through the brain more strongly. Then it's connecting to the higher self. And that is why I go for 9 days, because it doesn't get to this proper spiritual clearing for me until the 9th day. So I've done 4 of those now. Come and do holographic breathing. It will help with your fast. Oh, don't. If you don't want to, don't. But people find it difficult, right? We want to find it easier. You don't want a dry mouth. You want to clear all the feces out of your body in a natural and easy way without having to fast or do a salt flush or whatever beforehand. Try holographic breathing. Notice the spiritual effects. Allow yourself to heal, because that, I think that is now the strongest aspect for me, is the spiritual energies that come through when I'm doing dry fasting. It really puts me in contact with a deep healing. And another thing that happens at that turn point between 7 and 9 is, up until the 7th day, I'm thinking, oh my God, how much longer can I go without water? How is this possible? And then after the 7th day, that is not there anymore. It's like, well, you've kind of forgotten about food and water by that stage, or given up. Your body's given up, giving you messages to drink. And it's like, well, I could just go like this forever. This is normal now. And your body gets used to being able to absorb moisture through the skin, through the nose, through the lungs. It started raining on the 8th and 9th day. I wasn't actually in the rain, but the air was obviously much more humid, and I could just feel my body just cheating in a way, just filling out with water. Starting to get even a bit of a drippy nose, just because this was all becoming moistified. Our body, these things that our body doesn't normally do, starts relearning those. Anyway, I think I'm running out of things to say. But look at the links below. Come to the free webinars. Ask questions in the comments. Answer anything I've said in the comments. Anything you want to say. Your experiences. Put your experiences in, because there just isn't the medical research yet to know how safe or unsafe this is. I might drop back to 7 at some point, because it is hard doing 9, but to put a couple of days on, it's not a big deal, is it? I mean, as I say, the first 3 days are what kills me, not so much the last 2. Anyway, I think that is it. Enjoy your journey, enjoy your dry fast, enjoy holographic breathing, enjoy your life, get better from all your illnesses, have spiritual adventures, love everybody, be kind to everybody, do no harm, and experiment, do your own research with dry fasting. I'm not giving you any, I'm not a doctor, you do your own research. All right, see you around, bye.